All right, and we are back with the original father-son voiceover podcast. And this segment, we're going to go over our weeks in review, your week in review, my week in review, and then John from VO Marketing Pro is here to give the VOMP update. So I'll let him come up here and share my microphone because we don't have another microphone at this point.
That's where we're at. And John is my oldest son, and he's your oldest brother.
He sure is.
There's two in between. This is Big John right here.
Yeah, Bad John. Yep.
Saddle up there to the microphone, John.
Right.
Slide
Nice.
those headphones on and then talk. Enjoy your deep voice.
All right. Sounds good. Okay.
Yeah. So give us an update on VOMP this week.
Okay. So we had 45 warm responses.
It's nice. Good.
Yeah.
Yep.
And 18 auditions, and still waiting to hear back on a lot of those.
You know, just a little injecting something here. I had a bunch of auditions this week. I think I had 3 or 4. And I think Hudson wants to talk about 3 or 4 too. I don't know if they're included in that, but it just seems like it was an audition week, 45 auditions. That's a lot of auditions.
Sure is.
So what else we got? Anything?
And then just 2 jobs this week so far. Like I said, we're waiting on the auditions back, but Hudson and Mike Stout got a job. So
great, good. And I know I was going to say in my update, I have a couple, like I said, a few auditions that are out there. And I know that I had 2 auditions that I didn't get. Mm-hmm. One they went for a female voice, and the other they just found another voice. That's part of the gig. You just don't get everything. You got to get used to rejection. Just quickly, you do VOMP every day. I've been giving the update, and I'm involved in it quite a bit. I mean, we talk a lot about it. But maybe one little thing that you're seeing as far as what you want people to think about just today?
Well, yeah, a lot goes back to those videos that we do, specifically the long haul mentality, and lots of emails. We do have anomalies out there, good anomalies where people are getting jobs that have just started with us, but it's those that have stuck with us for 6 months and beyond, and they're seeing some traction, and that's great to see. And again, we really suggest doing emails on your own, doing the hybrid.
Yeah, hybrid. Yeah.
And so while, long long haul is what we want, and we want you to stay with us, it's do it on your own, and you'll see the results that way too.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Over time, if you keep on doing it, you're going to see it, and don't get discouraged at all by people. You're going to see numbers that come up from people that have been with us for a while, and they're getting stuff, and that isn't meant as a discouragement. It's meant as an encouragement that just stick with it, and stick with it on your own too, and do it on your own, and things will come. Good things will come. Our
guest, Bill DeWees, always talks about it, and it's anything with direct marketing, is that big funnel where you have to put a lot in, and you got to wait, and a few things drop out, and you just have to keep cultivating those. And that's what you're saying. People that have been with us 6 months, a year, they're starting to see that come to fruition, where just don't get discouraged if you're not getting quite the results you want. Pour more into the top on your own. Do some more targeted. If you like e-learning, if you like animation, if you like character stuff, just go out there and Google that and get busy on it.
Yep.
Yeah. Good. Well, thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Welcome to the the original father-son voiceover podcast.
Great to be a part of it.
Yeah, we'll be seeing you every single week.
Sounds good.
Maybe more of your brothers too.
Sounds good.
We got Demond on camera today, and we've got Drew and Joe and Mom. We're still waiting for Mom. We talked about having a voiceover penalty box, and she hasn't started vacuuming or yelling upstairs, what's going on, nothing like that. So the penalty box will be inviting somebody to come up here and have to talk with us.
And we almost had to have the internet guy come up.
Yeah, right.
We were gonna.
That's right. We talked about it at the beginning. By the way, we have links below for our website, for VO Marketing Pro website, their Facebook and YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. So that's okay. So do you want me to share my numbers now?
Yeah, if you would, that'd be great.
All right. I already talked about the fact that I had quite a few warm replies, and it seemed to be an auditioning week this week. I didn't get any new clients, so I didn't win any auditions. So that was a little bit of a, quote, downer, but that's fine. I had a very busy week as it was. I think this was my highest week so far. Platforms were $3,809.80. My direct email marketing clients, $4,208.02 for a total. I got over the $8,000 mark this week. $8,017.82. $8,017.82. And I know this is kind of an interesting thing. I remember people talking about when you, like 10% of the people or whatever, 10% of the people at a company do 90% of the work and 90% of the people kind of ride on their coattails. It's like a football game. There's 80,000 people in the stands who desperately need exercise. And then there's 22 men on the field who desperately need to lay down and rest, get some recuperation. And that's a little bit how it is. I mean, my week is busy. I'm tired. I remember Bill DeWees, our guest, would say 5-6 years ago when I was making $50,000, $60,000 and he was multiple six figures, he'd say, oh, I love voiceover work, but I can't wait till, the weekend. And that's, how I feel sometimes, where when I was in your position, it was like, no, I don't want the week to end. I want to maybe have a chance at another job. So,
and I'm always saying, I'm looking forward to getting to that point where I'm so busy that I would enjoy a break.
Yeah,
right. I'm not to that point right now. So that's fine.
My point, I guess, is that I've been there, and I'm the one that now needs the rest, and you're the one that needs, to be busy. And so
would like more to be busy
exactly.
and would like to be a little bit kind of running like a chicken with my head cut off.
Yep. That makes sense. So tell us about your week.
Yeah. So I had 13 warm replies this week.
Wow,
so that was
good. It's great.
That was nice. I had 3 auditions. And then I had 1 job that I booked. I didn't do an audition for that job. A guy got a hold of me and said that he does lots of political ads and stuff like that. So he said, I might have something for you. Well, lo and behold, he had one the next day. So that was really nice. It wasn't very high paying, but it was a job. So that was nice to get that out of there. Platforms, I made $152 on. So I had 1 job on Fiverr. And then I also have continuing work on Upwork, which is something I've been trying out lately. And shout out to Mike Praviti from our VO Marketing Pro Group. He put me in touch with this person on this new client on Upwork. And so I'm doing work through them.
Well, how nice.
Yeah, it's very nice.
So
of
it's
them.
not just me giving referrals to you and to other people. Other people are giving referrals. So that's really nice. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate that.
Yeah, appreciate that. And then let's see here. Other VO work, so like stuff I do for VOMP and editing for you. I made $180 on that. That's something different, but I figure that's part of the voiceover things that I do. So yeah, and then I actually have, along with Upwork, I have 1 other interview that I was just asked to do with somebody on there. They do it a little bit different if you're not familiar with Upwork. You have to go out and search for the jobs, and then they interview you to see if you're the right one. So Fiverr, they look for you. Upwork, you look for them. So it's a little bit different, trying to figure that out for both of us.
Yeah.
So in total, I did $362 this week.
Great.
Even.
Yeah. Oh,
So-
good. Well, those warm replies are good because they're telling you something. They're saying, I know people can lie and they can just want to, push you off. But a lot of times they're, hey, you got something, we like it, like your voice, should build some confidence in you that 13 different video production companies or ad agencies or voice rosters said, we like what we hear, or give us your rates, or we'll keep you in mind. That'll keep you going. I know booking jobs are what we want. And it's what we want for VOMP too. But you get those warm replies, you get those auditions. Those are nice too.
Well, and I guess I had one other thing to talk about that is you talked about your auditions, and I had 3 this week.
Yeah.
And I had a couple last week, maybe 1 or 2. And from some of those warm replies I've had, people say, "Oh, I like your voice. We've got some work. What would you charge for this?" And I let them know and stuff like that. And then there's just nothing. It's just crickets.
Yeah.
And you kind of sit there and you're like, "Oh no, did they forget about me? What's going on? Maybe they picked somebody else." And this need to know, it kind of infests you, and you're just like, I need to know. And going back to what we talked about in the first segment was not being needy.
Yes.
Stuff like that in another way.
Right.
Not being needy,
trying
to get help, but not being needy in being a voiceover actor who says, hey, you email right back and you say, did you forget about me? Not basically saying that, but that's what you're doing. And then they're kind of like, oh, what do we're just trying to figure out who we want, stuff like that.
Right.
So maybe what what do you do when you have, it seems like for me, that was a better week of replies and auditions, but then you're not hearing back anything. What do you do? Because I can right away, and I'm sure other people can, they can start to think about flailing and think about,
Yeah, and when you're not busy, when you're busy like me, you do the auditions and you kind of forget about them. I mean, you'd like to get the jobs and stuff like that, but you have a tendency to forget about them.
You don't put as much weight on them.
No, and I don't get back with people. But I'll tell you, when I, 7, 9, 10 years ago, it was like, ooh, that's been 2 days. I'd like to check in. I would just leave it alone, and I would push my energy doing something else. That is marketing, or doing, something else that will build your business. And just when you do an audition, just go ahead and say, unless they say, hey, we should have word by next week, feel free to check in, or different things like that. Well, that's different. But I just think it's a better look to not do that. It gives them the confidence that you're not needy of them, and you have time then, instead of obsessing over that and, spending your time worrying about getting back with that person and how should I and when should I, you just do the audition, let her go, and then just move on to your next project or marketing.
Is there maybe something to be said about that, is not being, like if you're showing them that you have too much time, or like that you're a new person, they might say, oh, this person's needy for a job. And so maybe we'll go with somebody else who's not. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where
I think people are smarter sometimes, and they can sense some neediness or some desperation. That's the advice that I had to give myself early on, and that's the advice that I give to you and everybody else. You can do what you want to do, but that's what I encourage you to do, is move on. Go to the next audition, go to your next project, get marketing, do something for your business. That's not kind of going backwards. If you did your best job on that audition, let her go. If they like you, they'll find you. Sure. They'll get back with you. Okay. No doubt about it.
Most likely they wouldn't have said that they liked you if they didn't.
Correct. And they'll find you. Trust me, they'll find you, even if they lost your email or whatever. If they like you, they'll get after you.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for taking the time to listen to us and watch us. We hope this was helpful. If there is anything that you want, like links to VO Marketing Pro, Bill DeWees Media, the original Father-Son Voiceover podcast, we will link those in the description below so that they're easily accessible and you can get to them.
Yeah. So feedback to us, give us a thumbs up, whatever. We'd like to hear from you, what you're thinking about this. If you'd like to hear more of this or that, I know this is our first one, so we'll just have to see what happens. But I appreciate you joining us.
Yeah, we appreciate it. So
good to do this with you.
We will sign off with that. So take care.